There's a scripture that says, in most English versions, it says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. And in the originals of that, because I've done a lot of scriptural studies, the word Lord there is a replacement of the Creator's name. So it says, the joy of Yahuwah is your strength. So the actual name of the Creator, knowing Him for me, is my strength, and it gives me all of my joy. So I focus on, knowing that the creator of all things is also the provider of all joy, and to have that knowledge and have that relationship, that's for me personally, that is what's the inner happiness for me and for my family. And we put that in our son and all of those around us. We love to be able to share that light from a creator's perspective with folks.
Hello, beautiful, handsome souls. Welcome to another episode of Happiness from Within. My name is Jeanette Prado. I am your host. And as you know, here our mission at Happiness from Within is to help you come out of the darkness and into the light, to touch your heart and soul at a very deep level through interviews. So today I am so excited. We have an amazing, impeccable, fabulous couple. I have Jay and Lina Noland. And just to give you a little bit of a background of this amazing couple. So this amazing couple, they are on a mission to helping inspire and uplift the planet. Jay is a former professional athlete from the San Diego Padres, turned into businessman extraordinaire. And Jay has an exceptional background in business and naturally as an entrepreneur. He has an unparalleled gift to connecting with people. As co-founder of the Noland Family Foundation, he currently sponsors hundreds of orphans internationally. For over 20 years, he's had a mission to change people's lives. He has trained thousands of individuals to realize and understand their self-worth. When people truly comprehend how powerful they are, they can do anything. As a subconscious leader, his mission is to teach people how to be mentally strong and how to have a great day every day, no matter their circumstance. Ultimately, Jay Noland helps people rewrite the code of their subconscious mind to empower them to put past their fears and maximize their potential in every area of their life. So I actually have them here right in front of me. Hello, Jay and Lina. How are you today?
We're wonderful.
Hi,
Glad to be here.
Janet.
Thanks for
Hi.
having us.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. So we made this amazing connection on Clubhouse, and we're going to be talking about that. So let's go ahead and jump in. Take us back. Where did all of this start for you?
Well, I grew up in a small town in Kentucky. I'm a country boy. I grew up on a hog farm. For those of you that don't know what hogs are, those are pigs. And so I came from the mud, the slop of pigs, and it was really crazy. My parents got divorced when I was 9. My dad moved to Florida, so I finished my high school there, and there was a lot of exposure there for sports. And so I played baseball for most of my life, and it really got escalated when I got to Florida. Went to college for a couple of years, got drafted by the San Diego Padres, played 6 years, ended with the Seattle Mariners. 1995 is when I blew my elbow out. So I had about a 1 year rehab. During that 1 year, I got involved in business, and as business started to grow internationally, that really became the passion for me. And then as I had more success, that started opening up more awareness for things that I really had in my heart, which was, orphans and battered women and children and people that are less fortunate and the planet. So all these things that we really need to be focusing on, I started focusing on. And then in 2012, when I met my now wife, Lena, she had the same heart. She was helping out an orphanage down in Colombia, South America, and less fortunate kids and kids that were sick. And so we really hit it off on that. And so we just kind of merged those together. We've had an orphanage school now. I had it going, since 2009. And then when Lena and I came together, we really started growing it to the next level. And so now we take care of up to 370 kids in Kenya, Africa. Every single month, we have people that we help in Colombia, also battered women's and children's shelters here in the United States of America. And so that's my take, Lena.
Yeah,
What
well,
about you, Amazing Lena? Tell us about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia. I born, raised in Colombia, and just my parents always was there for me. Obviously, like everybody else, have challenges growing up, different things that happen in life. I have to go through abuse from a family member and hide it from everybody until I met this amazing man and help me to liberate myself out of that trauma. And a year ago, after 30 years of just taking that inside of me, just being able to speak up, and that's where, for many years, having that passion inside of me to wanted to help more women, more people. Um, Now I'm all into helping women, bottom women especially, and all this abuse, and trying to put a stop into this, creating awareness, trying to help, parents to teach them that, that's happened and it keeps happening. So yeah, for years, my parents always teach me to help others, and I was helping kids since really young age. And being in college, I was able to support a foundation with kids with cancer.
Mm.
Probably for 3 years I helped this foundation until they grew up and they got big, resources. And in 2012, find this man and fell in love. And even though I was saying I will never leave in the United States, I end up living here and just with my soulmate and growing up together and helping other people. So our mission is to help kids, orphans, less fortunate kids, like Jay said. Right now, we have a foundation. We are supporting a foundation in very close to Cali, Colombia, where their families don't have too much. So this foundation support the art part of them. So like dancing and that type of stuff. So we're supporting that, and three or four shelters here in United States for women, and trying to do more.
Yep.
Actually helping now also on the homeless youth of United States to feed them. So yeah, that's what we are here in this world to do, and together
Yep.
I think we changing lives, inspiring other people to do the same.
Yes.
Wow, that is so incredible. It just like activated every cell in my body. That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So I would love to, I've interviewed other couples and I always like to get a little bit of the juice if you feel comfortable sharing. So tell me how, when you guys met, like, did you guys give each other the eye? Like, what was it that it kind of like the magnet between you guys? Whatever you feel
Really,
comfortable sharing.
the unique thing about our relationship, being that I've had international business forever and I've had these sales reps around the world, Lena happened to be the top salesperson in all of Colombia for my company.
Wow.
And so, it was just kind of like fate, just kind of, intertwining us, where she was doing her thing and, developing and moving a lot of products through for our company, and was just a top sales director in my company. And so, went on some incentive trips and then trainings. And then it just so happened that my life took a veer one way, her life took a veer one way. And, our relationships, opened up to where we were able to start, chatting about, kind of like a natural attraction to each other. I
Yeah.
think what attracted us most of all was like these deeper goals of, helping other people. And I know that sounds, cliche sometimes, but, when you have a tremendous amount of success and you're not totally focused on money anymore, I tell people that's when that real you can come out. And that's really kind of like what happened with us, is that we were able to look past the money thing and look towards the bigger causes in life. So our relationship is kind of like a novella for those that are in the Spanish markets, and like a soap opera for those in the U.S. or the American speaking, the English speaking market. So we, it just took twists and turns and plots It was all these things, forces trying to keep us away from each other, but we just had to be together.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you like to add to that, Lena?
Yeah, well, like he said, it was soap opera. It was a lot of things happening, but life just put us in the way. And like I said before, because that abuse that I had when I was little and for many years, uh, I was in bad relationships. So I was allowing that abuse to keep happening. And I was in a relationship that was not healthy for me. And with all the personal growth that I was learning and getting into that mindset, reading The Secret, The Power, and all these books, I tap into that mindset of I deserve better, and I took the decision to leave that relationship. And it happened that at that point, his life was taking another direction. And, uh, you know, I would think law of attraction,
Yeah,
brought us together.
for
I
sure.
was never thinking that
Yeah.
when I met him as the CEO of the company and everything, in my brain never came to, any type of desires or anything, because I was having this bad relationship, but I'm a very loyal person. And but like I said, I tap into that mindset of I deserve better. And even I didn't care at that moment if I was gonna be alone or whatever I was gonna do, but I needed to get out of that
Mm.
relationship. And life is beautiful, and it just put me this amazing man that appreciate me, valorate who I am for what I am, my my work, my abilities, the power as a woman that we have. And he saw that in me. And you can tell when somebody really appreciate what you do, when you speak.
Yeah.
So that's how we just fell in love.
Yeah, it was a trip, man. We thought we were going to be together. We talked about it. We said, yeah, we're going to be together. Then, right when I was like, all right, let's do it, Lena goes, well, I don't know. So I'm like, okay. So I decided to go off on my own. And then one day I did this post on Facebook that it looked like I was just available. And me and one of my good friends, we were going out on the town that night. And I guess we said something about going out on the town, having a great time. And then all of a sudden I get this little message on my phone, like, what you doing?
Where you at?
And I
And
was like, I thought you were going that direction. She was like, well, I've been thinking. So that kind of that sparked the conversation. I'm like, well, okay, let's just go ahead and go to the next level.
Wow, that's really beautiful. I just want to add, a lot of people don't realize that one in every three women, out of every four men have actually gone through something traumatic. And so I just really want to honor both of you, the strength, the tenacity, and the power within you, the healing that you've done for yourself.
Mhm.
There's people that just give up. They give up on love. And Lena, I just also just want to honor you for a moment. Like, it takes a lot of strength, a lot of energy. Um, I definitely feel you. I've gone through a lot of traumatic things myself, and you're a woman of power. I mean, look at what you've manifested. Like, both of you manifested each other. But I just really want to honor you, because it takes a lot of courage to share something like that, and the right people are going to listen to this. So thank you for
Well,
sharing that.
most people, if you think about it, you said it, trauma. Almost every person went through some kind of trauma. And so, on top of going through trauma, who taught us how to have a successful relationship? I always ask people that. Like, my parents got divorced when I was 9. My dad shot himself when I was 7, and he lived through it. And I was close by. And the next year, he was scared the heck out of my mom. So my mom abandoned. She took my 4-year-old sister and she left. So that was my early years. So that's all that trauma. And then we go to school. There's no classes on here's how you have a relationship. Go to college. There's no classes on that. So all of us are getting out into what's called real life, and we we're naturally more than likely going to get into bad relationships. I've been in them, and so she was in them.
Right.
Um, and so I tell people, like, let's relax, let's take some deep breaths and not be so hard on ourselves. If we made bad decisions or been through bad things, let's figure out how to get better. So that's really the thing that we like to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what when I realized how important it was to invest in myself, into getting personal growth books. I got into different communities where they was uplifting each other. It was positive mindset. So surround to those people that was uplifting me and giving me emotional support, and different programs where I was able to see my value and be able to take that decision that no matter what happened to me, if I was alive, it was because I had a purpose.
Yeah.
So I had it to keep going. I had the love of my parents. I was blessed to have that. My parents, they been beautiful, a great example of marriage, of how they both treat each other. So even though they didn't know until last year what happened to me in the beginning, I always knew their love was there. My grandmother on my dad's side was there, and my sister was there. So I knew I had something to keep fighting for. And especially for me, like if I was alive, I needed to do something, and I knew I couldn't change lives. And that's what I'm doing right now with the women's events and all the movement that we are creating
Yeah, that's
for
right.
supporting women.
That's right.
That's really, really incredible. Congratulations. So let's go a little bit deeper. How do you teach people how to decode the subconscious mind?
Oh, okay. Now you want to get into to some stuff that I'm very passionate about. Um, I've studied this extensively. I've been involved in personal growth training for over 25 years, so a quarter of a century. When I got out of baseball, what I did was I took the same passion in becoming a professional athlete, I put that into personal growth. And I've been studying how people interact with each other, how to communicate, body language, voice tonality. I've been studying that intensely for years. And so I was introduced to Think and Grow Rich, November 1995, Napoleon Hill. And so I read the book, and I believe I mastered that book because of the results I started getting in my life, which is really, you got to conquer yourself. At the end of the chapter, so it talks about the philosopher Plato says, to be conquered by self is the most vile thing of all. And that just hit me. Like, what does he mean to be conquered by self? He says, if you don't learn to conquer yourself. So really the premise of Think and Grow Rich is to get mastery of your subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill, he uses a technique called auto-suggestion, to where you speak positive things to yourself, especially in the morning and before you go to bed. So when you wake up, before you go to bed, and he gives you steps to do that. Now, that's called a bull rush approach. A lot of repetition, a lot of repetition. And what happens is most people, they're intrigued by the book Think and Grow Rich. They start down the path, but life is lifing on people, the pressures of life, and they're trying to change. So before they get to actually win themselves, they give up, or they get distracted, or they're on a roller coaster for most of their life. So I came across several years ago something called brainwave entrainment. How the brain works. This 3-pound organ in our bodies, the brain. It has waves, and these patterns are very, very significant in how you get imprinted. Now, Aristotle, the great philosopher, said, give me a child until they are 7. So from 0 to 7, and I'll show you the adult. And that just, I got chills every time I hear it, because he's saying, just let me have that child until they're 7, and who that child is by the time of 7, their subconscious is going to be for the rest of their life. And so why? I wanted to know why. He says, and all the scientists that have studied this, they found out that your brain gets imprinted. There's patterns that get imprinted, especially from 0 to 7, because you're operating primarily in a theta state. So there's these different states, so you got delta, you got theta, and then as you progress, as you start picking up, you get the alpha, gamma. And so what we want to do is we want to become aware of these brainwave states. And like our child, so Lena and I have a 6-year-old. He's completely bilingual. So he speaks Spanish, English, no problem, inside, out. He goes in between languages. He can speak some in Spanish, some in English. He can do whatever he wants to do. It's amazing. Well, that's because theta is where you learn the most. Once you come out of 7 years of age, your brain waves start to pick up. Now, there's 2 times every day that every person goes into theta. It's right when you're first waking up and right when you're about to go to sleep. So there's 2 opportunities that if you can say the right things to yourself, you can remap, you can reprogram yourself. Or you can use designated sound waves that are theta sound waves with music to relax you, but the music kind of distracts your conscious mind so that these patterns, these waves can get into your subconscious. And I have a company, Lena and I have a company now to where we have these scientists and these sound experts that we figured out how to write the code for whatever you want to write the code for. You want confidence, you want happiness, you want to attract your soulmate, what do you want to do?
I want to be of service to others, but just to uplift the vibration even more, manifest more.
And the way you do that is you be happier. You be more confident. You have more self-control. Well, if you're full of trauma and you're full of pain inside and you're battling, it's hard to do that. So we created a program called Foundation Confidence Tones. So confidencetones.com is our site. And we have a foundation program that's a 21-day program. Takes 11 minutes a day. That's it. So you put on some headphones for 7 days. There's a program to help you restore. Another 7 days to help you enter into confidence. Another 7 days, 11 minutes a day to elevate you to some of the highest levels of confidence you've ever seen. And so we guarantee the program. So it started, I did it on me first because of the trauma with my parents, my dad shooting himself, my mom abandoning me, and it worked. And then Lena did it. And all of a sudden it started working. And then we put it out there on some tests and it started working. And so now we got all these feedback coming back of people going, this is crazy. And all of this is just brainwave. It's just science.
Wow, I want some of that. Can you repeat the website? I'm going to put it below in the YouTube video, but what's the website?
Confidencetones.com, www.confidencetones.com. And we actually have an app coming out that's going to be the mother of Confidence Tones. So Confidence Tones is one portion of this global app that will be available on Apple Store and also on the Android store as well.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. That's incredible. What about somebody that wants to attract soulmate? I want to attract soulmate, and so do many people listening.
So we have a another program within Confidence Tones called the 6 Pillar. So this is the 6 pillars. So it deals with all 6 pillars. Part of those 6 pillars has to deal with social, which are your relationships. And inside of social, we have a coded one that is for getting the brain wave to attract the soulmate. Because if you read Think and Grow Rich, the chapter on the brain, it tells you your brain is just a receiving and transmitting station. So as you're walking around, you're transmitting and you're receiving. So if you get your brain waves to be able to start transmitting what you want, I want a soulmate. I want somebody that vibes with me. And then you get your brain waves, which we have a program that helps you can help support you there. And it's crazy.
Yes, we have seen a lot of testimonials of things that have happened to people. There's different, like there's the physical level where people can just listen to lose weight. Also, we have another program where it's going towards people that have some ears issues, and I actually testing it with my mom right now. She started having some issues with her hearing, and she's doing better. So it's like we're not saying that this cure or do anything, but it's just science. It's science behind this, that for many years, uh waves, just your brain, you can do anything if you want. Like, there's a lot of stories out there where people, they couldn't walk and they just put the right focus on their mind and being positive and attract things, and that would happen. So our brain is really powerful, and I tested on myself. We have a program that is ADs, so it's like really like a quick boost that you
Boost.
need. So
8 dimensional, 8D, 8 dimensional.
those, like, when we are working and everything, we need some creativity, we just put that on and listen to that for just less than 5 minutes, and you feel recharged. So I think, right now, people, especially after what happened this past year with COVID and everything, a lot of people
Yep.
are into the meditation and trying to, calm their systems down, because all these things that we're looking in the
Yeah.
media. So it's a perfect uh, product or program for people to, to get into it,
Yeah.
and kind of something like a self-care, like love yourself
Yeah.
and put some good vibes and and information inside of your brain.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And which one do you have for manifesting money?
Well, we got it's in that 6 pillars.
The financial pillar.
That's in the financial pillar. Because you have social, you have emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and financial. And so each one of those pillars, we got 4 different types of coded tones in those pillars. One including financial, so abundance.
Well, thank you guys so much for sharing that. That's really, really powerful. That's amazing what you guys are doing. So I'd like to go deeper. So you had mentioned that you were in rehab. Do you mind sharing about your experience with that and how you came out of that darkness into the light?
Talking about rehab from my surgery.
Yeah.
Um, that's funny because the physical did end up impacting me deeply emotional to where I had to go. Not only was I going to a physical therapist, I had to start going to a psychologist because imagine, all the work I put in to becoming a professional, and then now all of a sudden it's just like wiped out, potentially gone forever. And so it put me in a deep, dark state emotionally. And so I'm seeing this psychologist, going to physical therapy, and every time I go, I just was not feeling better. They put me on these depression drugs, and I started feeling worse. Then once I was introduced to Think and Grow Rich, this is why I got a big challenge in regards to what's going on in the mental health world, because I was seeing a psychologist. I was taking a drug for depression. I then get introduced to deep personal growth, like Think and Grow Rich. I start applying it, and immediately I stopped going to the psychologist. I stopped taking the drugs. Now, I don't. Everybody's got to do what they got to do when it comes to their professional advice from physicians and whatnot. For me,
Absolutely. Yeah.
when I started building something, it, especially building me emotionally and mentally, the chemical, what they call a chemical imbalance in my brain began to get straight. So that was in November 1995. And I didn't ever have to see a psychologist or take another drug again. So for me, that's what worked. And then when I started adding the brainwave entrainment, all those deep, dark scars that I had from my mother and my dad, it's hard to even explain it. I just stopped feeling it. So once I put the headphones on and I put on the code for deep emotional restoration and just listen, then all of a sudden, after about a week or so, I stopped feeling it. And now I just do maintenance. I just put every morning when I wake up, Jeanette, first thing I do when I wake up, first thing, I reach for my headphones. First thing, right when I'm waking up, especially. If I don't have to use the bathroom right away, I'm gonna get my headphones. Otherwise, I go to the bathroom, I come right back and get my headphones.
Wow.
And
That's
I got 10 minutes where I'm gonna condition my brain.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Lena, can you share of a time that you were in the darkness and you came into the light? Anything you'd like to share from your heart?
Yes. Well, like I said, I went through abuse for probably when I was 4, after, I don't know, probably 15, 12. I remember 15 was the last time my grandfather tried to, you know, get back to what he was doing. And I said, no, that's enough. So I was able to say no. But, when you're in that stage, especially like you have the teenage kind of emotions that all the teenagers already have, and this, different thoughts come to your mind, trying to, take my life, just having negative thoughts, allowing, being around, like having boyfriends and all this, and allowing the disrespect keep going. You go to that place where you don't think you're worth it, of nothing. So you think, you came to this world and that's what you're supposed to be, and you're nothing. Everything you do, nobody cares about.
Right.
And but the way I think I was able to keep going through all those years of abuse was just looking at what was that light,
Yeah.
what was that little light in my life. And I always find that love was that light.
Yeah.
So having the love of my parents, like I say,
Yeah.
having the love of my sister, just, she's 7 years younger than me. So when she came to life, that was, something that helped me too, because I didn't want that nothing happened to her. So I was like, I will not just take myself out, because I know there's somebody else I have to protect. And I just think that on my own, just being looking for that light. What is that light? And everybody have a different light in their life, but there's at least one person that will love you. And it's just look for that person and stick to that, because our lives are precious. And if we didn't die during the trauma, it's because there was something else. And when I look back, if none of that happened, maybe I would not be that strong right now. I would not be able to probably be careful with our son.
Right.
Like probably I would be trusting everybody, thinking that that it's okay. But most of the abuse, not even in women but also in men, it comes from family
Family
members.
members.
So I think the way I came out of that darkness was looking for that light,
Yep.
even if it was little, and just keep going. And then when I came to personal growth, that's what totally changed my mindset. And I knew that I had to, to forgive and keep going. And a year ago, we had some challenges, because of course that's going to, when you have traumas like abuse, is going to mark your life, where it's going, like Jay said, from 0 to 7.
Yep.
Whatever happened to you, that's who you're gonna be. So you get some patterns that are not healthy, and you have a great man, you have your soulmate, but you have these bad habits that you didn't realize, because you pretty much live with them through your whole life. So when we got our challenges as a marriage, came together, and with his expertise and everything, personal growth, and talk about it, he said, there's something that's going on with you. And that's when after I don't know how many hours talking, I came out and told him what happened to me years ago. And he said, you just have to let it go, but in order to let it go, you have to talk about it. So your parents need to know, your family need to know, your sister, everybody that have any connection with that person needs to know, because that's the only way you're gonna free up your spirit, your heart, and let that go. You cannot keep carrying that bag in your shoulders. So once I did that, I felt it.
Yep.
I felt it. Of course, it was hard. Just the first call was to my sister, and the first thing she said it was, "You have to tell my mom." So then my parents, and you know what? It doesn't matter if people is not going to support you, because everybody got their own minds and they think whatever they want to think. But when you have the confidence that, and you realize you was a little girl, that it was an innocent, then you're going to be able to understand yourself, and and to let that go. So after a call after call after call, I was feeling the release. So the first call was really like bawling, crying, and then, I started just, it was naturally just feeling that it was coming out of myself, and now I feel really confident and empowered from my own story to empower other women. So I think that's how I was able to came out of all this darkness for so many years.
Yep.
Woo! Bring in the fire. I love it. Wow. It's so beautiful. Just everything that you guys are dropping so many gems. It's just like amazing. When I see you guys, there's this like magnetic powerful force. Like I was very gifted. I see a lot of images and auras, and your guys' magnetic energy between each other. When I see your guys' eyes, I just want to get a little deep if you don't. When I see your guys' eyes, because they say the eyes are the way to the soul, but you guys are just amazing people. I'm just so honored to be here in your presence. Like, I just want to acknowledge you and your growth and what you guys are doing. I would love to now talk for you guys to share about your guys' orphanage and what's happening over there. Because in your guys' clubhouse group, you guys were sharing some pretty deep stuff about how some of these kids don't even have a name. But yeah, can you talk more about your orphanage and what you guys are doing?
Yep. It's amazing. Dr. Amos of Boogaz has been my partner since 2009. He's a doctor of pharmacy. He came from Kenya to Texas, graduated, got his doctorate degree, opened up a pharmacy. His dad was a chief in Kenya. His dad passed away, left him land with 2 houses on it. He went back to visit, said, I'm going to make these an orphanage school. So he went into the village, found someone that could teach, said, hey, I'm going to bring you on to teach. First 6 kids showed up, then 20, then 30, then 50, and it just kept growing. And so then he hired a couple more teachers. Well, when I met him, there's about 200 children there. And he was sending a lot of his money back they was making in the pharmacy back to Kenya to take care of these kids. So he was involved in a company that I own. He was selling products. Some of our products were selling them in his stores. And we sat down and we met. And I said, hey, this is a passion of mine. What do you think about if I took on all the financial support? I attached the orphanage to our company. He's like, huh? I said, but we got to do it the right way. We got to go all out. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. I'll just give you some money to support, or we can go to the max. He said, let's go. So since December 2009, January 2010, we've been solely supporting that orphanage all that time. Until recently, we've kind of opened it up to where we found other people that they enjoy supporting. But, we've got 8 school teachers in the Kisii, Kenya district. We were 3 years first of all schools, public, private, and that's an orphanage school that was ranked number 1 for 3 years.
Wow.
We have cooks, full-time cooks. We have, we just 2 years ago built our own well. We had to go down 100+ feet digging. Wow. And we now have our well, and that well provides our own fresh water for the kids, but also a surplus we can sell some to the villagers, fresh water. So that provides some income. And then we had started building a wall because it was kind of getting sketchy with security. And our headmaster of the school actually got murdered about a year and a half ago.
So deeply
Um,
sorry. Wow.
got somebody was over there talking, and then they hit him on the back of the head. He fell and he died. He'd been there from the beginning. It was actually Dr. Amos's brother. So we had to get another schoolmaster, and then that escalated us having to get the security fence up. So right now, we're actually working on completing the security fence, and we want to break ground at the end of this year on a facility that can take us from capacity of like 380, 390 up to 2,000. And so if a person goes to back4kids.com, back4kids.com, they're able to get information there. And if anybody would like to support and be involved and see what's going on, we get all kind of updates, videos, you can get it right there.
Yep. Number 2, number 4. Back to back4kids.com.
Yeah, we'll definitely put the links below. That is so beautiful. Would you like to add anything to that, Lina?
No, I think, kids are next generations and we have to do things for them. So if people feel they can do something, they can come do it with us, or they can get inspired to help whatever they are. Like if they are in the United States, if they are in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, in South America, just do something, because we just have to pour into these new generations to be able to change the world, if we want to change. So that's why we invest a lot of, or pour into a lot of the youth and the kids. So back to back4kids.com, or you can see in back-to-back-projects.com. That's where we have all our projects we're working on and what we're supporting. So the women's shelters, everything is right there. So really appreciate, Janet, you doing this for us today and spending this time is amazing. Like you said, we are doing a lot of things in Clubhouse. We're doing 100-day marathon. Today is the day 66, and we're about to start room like in 5 minutes. So I really appreciate meeting you, Janet, and giving us this space to show people that there's a way, like that you can find that person that you love if you are in that right mindset. Pretty much what I've been able to see is that you get in the right mindset where you love yourself first. You learn from yourself, and then you're able to attract that person that is going to love you the way you love yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely. I just have one more really quick question. What does happiness from within mean to you guys?
You go first.
I feel that happiness from within is that light. Is that light that it make you wake up every morning. Is that you tap into it and you know it's gonna be the happiness in there. So when we have that love, when we know there's something out there that we can fight for, is when it's gonna keep making us happy. So I think our life is just surrounded to that, to focus on that light and see in our life, is it your children, is your husband, is your family, is your purpose? What is that purpose? And that's what's gonna make you happy. So that's what it is for me.
There's a scripture that says, in most English versions, it says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. And in the originals of that, because I've done a lot of scriptural studies, the word Lord there is a replacement of the creator's name. So it says the joy of Yahuwah is your strength. So the actual name of the creator, knowing him for me, is my strength, and it gives me all of my joy. So I focus on, knowing that the creator of all things is also the provider of all joy, and to have that knowledge and have that relationship, that's for me personally, that is what's the inner happiness for me and for my family. And we put that in our son and all of those around us. We love to be able to share that light from a creator's perspective with folks.
Wonderful. Well, I really want to thank you guys for being a guest here on Happiness from Within. And we will catch you next time on a future episode. Let's definitely do it again, maybe in a year. And I really want to thank you guys so much. And we'll put all the links below. And I'll see you guys on Clubhouse. Have a great
All right, Red, you're the best. By the way, everyone support this phenomenal lady. She's an excellent, excellent host, and we appreciate your love and your light.
Absolutely. Have a beautiful day. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye for now.